G'day legends, welcome to another episode of Parts Unknown Melbourne. I'm Goose.
And I'm Gandalf. We're here to show you the best hidden spots in Melbourne to eat, sleep, drink, and everything in between. The only thing is we don't know where it's going to be. We're just going to have a walk around and see what chickens I fancy. Let's get into it.
Located just off High Street in Northcote, you'll find Joe's Shoe Store. And no, it's not the local cobbler. It is actually a bar serving food and drink for all. The really cool thing about Joe's Shoe Store is that it has a bit of a Fitzroy North Monty's vibe, but all the way at home in Northcote. So you can bring the fun of Fitzroy North here to Northcote and have a great beer.
Just jumping off what Moose has just said, it's so good to get away from Monty's. Yes, it is one of the most popular places in the north side to go for a drink, or maybe if you're lucky, a date. However, the thing I don't like about it is it can get very, very crowded. I feel that a lot of people are kind of, nowadays, even with the virus gone, people still get very upset and cramped, and I'm no exception. Big outdoor area here.
Look at this, look at this. Has COVID really been that long that our QR codes are already starting to become worn and dusty? Really lets you know how much time has gone past.
So for those of you who are new to the channel, we've been away a while. There is a lot of things going on. I had a car crash, and if I'm being honest, cost of living hasn't been treating me kindly.
Hard times make hard people, and I have been really getting into day trading. I've been doing everything I can to learn the ups and downs of the digital currency market, and I've been having a great time. Although everything's been going great in that sense, what's awesome about Joe's Shoe Store is that the pots are $7. So even if you haven't been having success on the market, you can still have a great beer.
Hello old friend, it's been a while between drinks, literally. So I've just gone with the XPA. I don't know what that is.
It's just this thing, yeah.
So we're gone with the XPA today. Gonna give it a sip, put it in my mouth. Let's see how we go. Gandalf's first sip of the day. Ooh. Very good.
You can tell it's a really groovy place out here, and I just think of all of the cool artists that come from Melbourne, musicians, painters or otherwise, coming here to talk about their next project. I wouldn't be surprised if you came here on a Saturday night and you'd be sitting on your left, you've got Tones and I, and on the right, you've got the Janoskians, talking about the next project. It is definitely where the cool Bohemian kids come to play and talk about what's next.
A lot of people ask me, when you're on a date with whoever it may be, and you know, conversations wearing thin, what can you do to kind of impress them? Well, there's a little trick I like to do, and it involves putting the coaster on the table and catching it. So you got the coaster, and what you do is you put it on the edge of the table and you catch it like that. Now, I made that look easy. However, a lot of people find that very difficult. So if you do want to do it on a date, the great thing is, so imagine POV, you're on a date with Gandalf. Yeah, so anyway, tell me about your parents. What do they do? And you catch it like that. Don't break eye contact, catch the coaster, and
The thing I really like about Joe's Shoe Store is when you order a pot and not a pint, sometimes you feel a little bit, I'm just getting a little glass compared to a big glass. It's the same shape. I love it when they opt for these Simpsons style Moe's
beer.
Tavern, sorry?
Duff beer.
Duff beer, Moe's Tavern type beer. It's a lot of fun and it makes you feel a lot older than you might feel inside. Let's just hope we don't have Marge running through the door and going, homie, homie.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Factually, more people smoke tobacco in the north than they do probably anywhere else in Australia. That's why here at Joe's Shoestring, they've managed to go and say, look, we know the clientele we're getting. They don't really care about themselves. So the best we can do is actually give them an ashtray. And if you look around, every single table, bar the ones inside, of course, have an ashtray.
What's awesome about Joe's Shoe Store is the seats out the back here. It looks as if they got it out of a time machine from the 1970s. Or, more likely, they just travelled down to Brunswick Street in Collingwood to Lost and Found to get a very designer chair range.
When you've got leaders like Sam Groth in power, you know, something's a bit askew. However, there are still places like Joe's Shoestring that manage to say, you know what, we're not conforming. We know there's cost of living. We know people are doing it hard, but every single person is always going to want a beer. They've kept their pots at $7. Lucky 7. I feel like I could be at Crown Casino right now.
A really cool design out here in the beer garden is there's a little toilet house in the middle, and it really reminds me of the house that Snoopy from Charlie Brown, where he sleeps up on the top. Fun homage to the comic books we all grew up in love with and loved.
I was actually on a date with a girl a few nights back, and we were just chatting. And I remember talking to her about how a lot of people at restaurants, they're not really having chairs that match, but it's more so a thing that kind of like, I personally think it's a purposeful decision. And you look around here, like look at that. I love it.
Gandalf and I were just talking before about how the etymology of these suburb names, Northcote, it sounds like they're saying North Coat, like they're above needing a coat. Well, I wouldn't talk so soon, because it is still really cold here in Melbourne's winter. They do have heaters out here in the back, but they're not on. Bring your woolies, bring your North Face. Hopefully they don't think they're above faces. And just make sure you're nice and warm so you can stay out here in the back as long as you can.
And we're back. And it is now time for Gandalf's Final Skull. So thank you guys so much for your support. I've seen the comments that you've been leaving on older videos saying you'd like to see me drinking more, so I'm definitely back at it, and I'm not slowing down now. So without further ado, let's put this XPA down. Gandalf's Final Skull. You shall pass. You wouldn't think we've had a break, would you? So, that was awesome. We're going to go outside, give you our final thoughts.
Well, Legend, it's so great to be back for another episode of Parts Unknown Melbourne. Joe Shoesaw, thank you so much for having us. I'm Goose.
And I'm Gandalf. Joe Shoesaw, you were absolutely exceptional. The staff, wonderful. The seating, wonderful. The beer, wonderful. We'll be back. As for now, I got to go to the bathroom.